Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to do a first impression and a wear test again because you guys really love this kind of videos, and I am testing out so many products this entire week, so many newly launched products. And again, we have a newly launched concealer with us today. It's the Miss Clear Fake It Ultimate Cover Concealer. This is their newly launched concealer from Miss Clear. I'm going to do a first impression plus a wear test, and also I am going to compare this concealer, which is the Miss Clear Pot Concealer right over here, which is the famous Miss Clear Pot Concealer. It was my first concealer, I think, and it was my favorite concealer. I'm going to use this concealer on this side of my face and this concealer on this side of my face, and we are going to compare this and we are going to see how it looks, how the wear test goes and everything. So yeah, if you are interested in knowing about this concealer, then please keep on watching. Make sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Let's get started. Okay, so I am talking about Miss Clear Fake It Ultimate Cover Concealer, the newly launched Miss Clear concealer. The website actually claims that this will give you a flawless base. This will act as a canvas. Concealer is designed to target your imperfections. So said that this is a creamy formula which you can blend with your fingertips, with your brush, with your blender. They have mentioned that this is a weightless full coverage concealer that conceals, contours, highlights. So they have also claimed that this is a pretty much long wear concealer. So we are going to test that out. First, I'm going to show you guys what the concealer actually looks like. So this is what the concealer looks like. As you guys can see, here you have a black cap kind of packaging, and here you have Miss Clear written right over here, and here you have the name like Fake It Ultimate Cover Concealer written, have the net volume written, the manufacturing date and all this kind of thing. And here you have the shade name, which is 03. Nothing fancy, nothing extraordinary. It's like a simple packaging concealer, and I'm just going to open this up and show it to you guys how it actually looks. So this is what the applicator looks like, and as you guys can see, this applicator is a doe foot applicator, and this is what it looks like. It's not very thick. It's like a medium shape concealer applicator. I quite like this kind of concealer packaging. The pot packaging is a little bit unhygienic for few people, not for me because I don't really care about all this, but for few people they have complained about this concealer that the packaging is a fail. According to the packaging, I think this packaging is pretty good, and I don't know whether they have just repackaged it into this one. Let's see how it feels and how it looks. So I just want to quickly come here and talk to you guys before I start my eye makeup. Is this side of my face I used the Miss Clear Full Coverage Pot Concealer, and on this side of my face I have used my Fake It Ultimate Cover Concealer. I haven't used any powder yet, and I'm using this concealer over here because I usually always use concealer as a base before doing my eye makeup look. So I just want to quickly share this with you guys before doing my eye makeup. If you are a person like me who use concealer as a base to do their eye makeup look, I think it will be a little bit helpful for you. When I was applying this side of my face, which is this one right over here, it was pretty thick. Obviously this is a full coverage concealer. It was pretty thick, but this side was very heavy, and it was like full coverage, but I am not a full coverage kind of person. Side is looking a little bit less coverage than this one, like just a little bit, because this one is also a full coverage concealer. This eye was blending very smoothly, and it was like blending so well. So I think I will definitely go for this one whenever I want a base for my eyeshadow. I have never used this one as my eyeshadow base. This is the first time I'm using it, and I just want to let you guys know about this thing. I went to finish off my base makeup, and here I am with a full glam eye makeup look. Anyways, I am now going to apply this concealer. I have used my go-to foundation. This is the Maybelline Fit Me foundation, and this is my absolute favorite foundation. So I applied it all over my face with my primer. My primer is from Inside Cosmetics, and yeah, that's pretty much it. I haven't used any kind of powder yet, so I am going to use this Miss Clear concealer right over here. I think I'm gonna zoom you guys in so you guys can see. I am going to use this concealer right over here. I know my eye makeup is looking a little bit bad. I have to do my lower lash line. Okay, so I'm using quite a bit of this concealer because I just want to test out this concealer. I'm not testing out foundation today, so I can use. And with this concealer, obviously I have to take a brush and I have to do this thing, and I have to take out my concealer from this one. So I'm just going to take this. Immediately I can say that this is more full coverage than this one, and by the way, the shade is obviously different. This is in the shade beige and this one was in the shade 03, and obviously you can say this is looking a little bit brighter. I'm going to blend this side. Look how beautifully this concealer is blending. Actually brightened up my under eye so beautifully. Oh my god, I think this is looking beautiful. I think this is perfect. Try to blend this one out. Now this is a pretty full coverage and a very thick concealer. As you can already say, I know I am using a little bit more concealer. I don't really use this much concealer, but I just want to highlight my under eye. And yeah, this is what it looks like. It also blended out pretty nicely. I am not having a problem while blending the concealer. And yeah, this is what my eyes are looking right now. I think I love this side much more than this side. And I don't know whether you guys can see it or not, but this side contains this kind of, as you guys can see, a little bit of shine with this concealer, because this is a very creamy and thick kind of consistency. But this side, as you can see, I haven't used any powder yet, but this side, as you can see, it's looking like it's already setting into my skin. As you guys can see, like with this concealer, I definitely have to set this concealer. Have to set your concealer no matter what concealer you're using. But I think this concealer is already setting into my skin, and I think that's pretty good. With this concealer, I can touch it and I can feel a kind of weird tacky feeling. But with this concealer, I cannot really feel any kind of tackiness. Then I am going to use this concealer over here, because obviously you guys know I use concealer here to highlight, here a little bit and here a little bit. This concealer is a very thick consistency concealer. Fake It Ultimate Concealer is not that thick. It's a very kind of liquidy, and it's not that thick, like not too thick. That I really want to mention about this Fake It concealer is, I think you have to blend the concealer really fast, or else I think you will face a little bit of problem while blending the concealer. The concealer is looking like now, and I think I am loving this side better than this side, because as you guys can see, as you guys can see, this is a creamy pot concealer. This creamy concealer crease really bad, but I am not going to complain about this particular concealer, because this is my favorite concealer and this is really cheap, and you have so much shade range with this concealer. You have to set your pot concealer really well. If you have fine lines, if you have wrinkles, I will not prefer you to use this pot concealer. I will prefer you to use this particular concealer right over here. So if you have fine line, if you have wrinkles, if you have texture, I think this concealer will work really well. And so I'm setting this out right over here. How flawless this area is looking already. And I am going to use powder on this side, and I am going to set this out. And yeah, this is what this side is looking right now, and I cannot really see a difference. Okay, so I just completed my makeup and I'm wearing this lip color from Nykaa. This is what my makeup is looking right now. The thing that I'm gonna mention, when I was applying highlighter on my nose where I concealed with my Fake It Ultimate Concealer, I haven't seen any weird texture or anything like that. Everything was blending out super nicely. After setting my skin with powder, the concealer is actually looking very flawless. I can see more flawless situation going on this side of my face rather than on this side. Obviously it's a pot concealer, so it will create a little bit of heaviness. I'm just going to go now and I'm going to test this concealer out for a few hours and then I will be right back. Bye. My eye makeup is looking very weird right now because I removed my eyelashes, because it's not possible for me to wear this eyelash for 6 hours. Like, no, not possible. You can obviously see my eyeshadow, like lower lash line eyeshadow, smudged because obviously it's so many hours. I was just sleeping and filming and editing few videos, so it's kind of a mess. Anyways, ignore that. The thing that I just want to talk about on this side of my face and this one on this side of my face, both works differently. This is a very full coverage concealer, which is a creamy concealer. If you are a person who love using creamy concealer, you will love this concealer, because after so many hours I am not seeing any kind of texture underneath my eye. The area over here looks perfectly fine. And if you want to use this concealer right over here, this is not as full coverage as this one. Contains coverage but not so much, like just like this one. So I think if you want a daily everyday kind of concealer, I think you can definitely go for this one right over here, because for me, my personal opinion, this is not a daily concealer. I will personally not use this much full coverage concealer daily. But if you want a concealer which will last all day and which will give you a little bit of coverage, not too much, you can definitely go for this concealer right over here. I think this concealer is pretty good. If we see through shade range, I think this will win, because this contains a lot more shade than this. Fine lines and wrinkles and texture, I think you should skip this concealer, because it's kind of my personal opinion. Concealer you have to set with powder like a lot, because it's a creamy, like a very creamy concealer. And I will actually prefer you guys to use both of this concealer. If you are a fan of pot concealer, cream concealer, you can go for this one. If you are a fan of kind of like simple everyday concealer which will give you a little bit coverage, not too much, then use this one. But do keep this in mind, this will give you coverage and the shade range is really limited. So I think I will not go for this one in terms of shades. I will go with this one if I choose Miss Clear concealer. I hope Miss Clear comes out with few different shades for this one actually. But otherwise my forehead is looking pretty good. My nose area is also looking really good. But a little bit of product buildup is going on right over here. If you are a dry skin person, I think you will like a cream concealer more. But if you are a dry skin person, I think this concealer will, like a little bit, it will show up your dryness a little bit. For oily skin person, I think you are gonna love this concealer, this particular concealer right over here. I am an oily combination skin person, so that's why I am pretty much loving it. If you're an oily skin person, I think it will look pretty greasy and it will crease, and it will not look good if you're an oily skin person with this concealer right over here. But you can actually go with this concealer. So I think this concealer you can go if you're a dry skin person or oily skin person or combination skin person. I think you can go with this concealer. And yeah, that's pretty much what I just want to mention, and that's what I just want to say. And yeah guys, that's it for today's video. I hope you guys find this video helpful. This was my thought and this was my first impression plus a wear test. Both of the concealer will be linked down in the description box below. Make sure to check that out. Make sure to like, comment and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. I love you guys so much. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys on my next video. Bye.